How's it going, everyone? This is Mike back for Weekly Chat. And before I start the chat, let me show you what I got in the mail today. Just a little bit of an update. Got 3 movies from oldies.com. One of them is The Secret Six, which is a 1931 MGM film, pre-code crime thriller starring Wallace Beery and supporting actress Jean Harlow in her first MGM picture. And it also has a supporting player, a guy named Clark Gable. So it was the first time that Gable and Harlow were in a film together. I've never seen this, so I don't even know if they interact with each other. But yeah, this will be fun. Continuing my Jean Harlow research. Also, Zabriskie Point. How many people have seen this? Show of hands? Anybody out there? Okay. Directed by Michelangelo Antonioni, 1970, his first American film. Very strange movie. I've not seen this in a long, long time. And I wanted to give it a second chance because I remember thinking it was the most boring thing that had ever been filmed. And I kind of want to see what my reaction will be now. And this will make a good Z film for my A to Z film project. So I will be talking about this eventually. Okay? And finally, Billy the Kid versus Dracula from Cheesy Flicks Movies. John Carradine reprises his role as Dracula. I've never seen this, so this will be fun. A lot of back cover. All right, so that's what I got in the mail today. The chat this week is about social media. How involved are we in it? Has it changed over the years? Our use of it? Do we like it? What do we think of it? All that sort of thing. So we've talked about this before, and I guess it's a nice idea to update how we're doing with it all. So obviously I'm involved in YouTube. I also do Facebook and I do Letterboxd. I have a Twitter account that I do absolutely nothing with. I don't even know why I have it. That's it. I don't do Instagram or anything else. I'm sure there are other things out there. Something called Snapchat. I think all the kids do that. So yeah, YouTube. I've been around making videos on YouTube since 2012, and I will probably continue as long as I have some sort of vague notion that I might have something to offer that people might want to hear. And if I ever reach the point where I no longer feel that way, then I will disappear from YouTube. I can actually go for several weeks without making a video unless somebody encourages me to get into a project, as James and Ian do, quite frankly. So, I mean, quite often. So, yeah, I tend to stay away for a long time and just get out of the practice. But I really like doing it, and I will be completely honest with all of you out there that one of the main reasons I do it is to get attention. I really appreciate the positive feedback and the conversations, and so yeah, I admit it, I really do. And I've been very lucky that I've had a lot of good supportive comments from people, and never been one to have a lot of subscribers, and I don't think that's going to change because I mean, I'm not doing anything that 1,000 other people aren't doing as well or better. So I can't imagine why. Yeah, there's nothing that unique going on here. It's just that it's my face instead of somebody else's, right? But I've been very lucky that I've had a lot of supportive people and made a lot of people that I consider to be friends. And I've only had a few negative comments in all this time, so I'm very lucky. And instead of arguing with people, I just tend to say, well, if you don't like my face, then I will just click this button and block you from my channel, so you don't have to look at it anymore. So now, as far as what I do on YouTube besides posting my own videos, I actually spend hours and hours and hours, days, weeks, watching all kinds of stuff on YouTube. Spending way too much time on it. Everything you could possibly think of, not just things that are related to movies or music or watching the videos that my friends make, which quite frankly I feel guilty about because I tend to lose track of what a lot of people are doing, and I don't give them the support that I think I should be giving to them. So that's a real problem. I need to spend more time doing that and keeping up with what people are doing and encouraging them to do more, etc., etc. So, but I watch all sorts of things, and to do with politics, religion, just culture. I watch a lot of old film clips, TV clips, interviews, music. Lately I've been fascinated by the rockabilly sound from the 1950s. I found a couple of channels that they post songs, hundreds and hundreds of songs that I've never heard. So I've been kind of getting into that. Bluegrass music, I've been listening to a lot of that. Yeah. Now I don't talk about anything on my channel other than films and music, and sometimes things related to culture that have to do with that. Because I don't want my channel to turn into something else. Maybe at some point in life I will maybe get a whole different channel that I will use to talk about my own religious beliefs and my own political beliefs. But I just haven't felt the need to do that. Now on Facebook, I do occasionally post things about religion, although I've been doing a lot less of that lately. And I feel that I belong to certain groups on Facebook that have to do with my own particular spiritual beliefs, and I keep that separate from what at least most of the time, from what I post, and because I know that people just aren't interested, and I'm used to that, and I'm not going to jam it in people's faces. That's just not what I'm about. So I use Facebook for communication, connection, family. Well, family. Unfortunately, when I got on Facebook, all of my relatives found me. So now there's no escape. I can't get away from them. Just kidding, folks. Don't mean it. Including all the people, all the people that I used to go to high school with. All of a sudden, people I haven't seen in 50 years, we're chatting on Facebook every day. It's kind of weird. So here's how I feel about Facebook. I think we are heading towards a Facebook apocalypse. I think that Zuckerberg, or do you say Zuckerberg, is eventually going to start charging people just for belonging to Facebook. And I wonder how many people will be willing to spend, let's say, $10 a month just to do what you do now on Facebook for free. I think that's going to happen. I just have a feeling about it. Now we've all, those of us who have been around YouTube for a while, we've seen changes come and go that we don't like, and we've sort of adapted to them. Some people left permanently, some people left for a while, but a lot of people came back. We got used to things, and it's been kind of quiet on YouTube for a while, at least for those of us who just post videos for fun and we're not here to make money. Nothing's really changed drastically for us for a long time. But what if it did? What are we going to do if YouTube becomes just unusable for most of us? That's going to be a big problem. Now, the other thing that I use as far as social media is Letterboxd, which, as James said in his video, I like keeping track of the movies that I watch. I wish I had been doing that for the last 30 or 40 years, keeping track of films that I went to see and who I went with and all that sort of thing, because a lot of those memories have left me. But yeah, I also use Letterboxd for doing some writing now, which is something I've thought about doing for a long time. I'm trying to push myself into doing more writing. Something that I have a great interest in doing. So I do these little film commentaries every once in a while. I don't comment on every film that I watch, just when I get inspired and I feel like I have something to offer. So that's that. What else was I going to say? I know it was something really profound. Cell phones. Okay, this is social media, right? Which supposedly we now have all these wonderful opportunities for communication, instantaneous communication with these stupid things. I'm very happy to have this, but in a way, I think that even though we have people are on their phones more, but I sometimes wonder if real communication has been disappearing. And as of yet, I'm not one of these people who walks up and down the street, looking at my phone and scrolling. We're doing this when I'm having dinner with people and I should be talking to somebody in person instead of being on the phone. Although I will admit that I sometimes take a picture of what I'm eating or drinking, which is really stupid, but a lot of that's just for fun. But I think that, I don't know, this seems to be taking the place of people actually sitting down and talking or writing letters and getting to know each other. It's bizarre to me when I go to a coffee shop and I'm sitting there with a friend of mine. We're just blabbing back and forth like crazy, and the people around me, usually very young people, are sitting there in front of their laptops, and usually well, I mean, if they're by themselves, that's one thing. But if there are two people sitting across from each other, that they each have their own laptops and their own cell phones, and nobody's talking. And sometimes you see groups of people sitting at dinner, sometimes families, and they're all on their phones and nobody's actually talking to each other. So I think there are a lot of things about social media that I don't like, and I don't like a lot of the changes that are happening in culture. I really don't. For one thing, the demise of newspapers, I think, is a big problem, and I think that that's going to affect the way our democracy works. And I won't go on and on about that because this video is already taking over 10 minutes, so I'll just leave all that for you to think about. And I will turn this off here, and any comments are welcome. Take care, folks.